Hello Self, I'm gonna start this video again right away. Ohana. This is Magic Mirror Work Part 2, March 27th, 2025, about 5:58 a.m. The reason why it's Part 2 already is the phone just stopped on its own. And I don't know why. I was just talking about taking time for self-compassion, for taking time off, and then it just stopped. And it's frustrating because I don't know if I can trust this phone now. It's just happening randomly, that videos are stopping. And I don't know what I can do about that. I don't know if there's a diagnostic. I don't know what there is. And this is technically supposed to be the best fucking phone in the world. And then I'm recognizing, how do I let go of the technology failing me? But then if this is my main point of recording things, especially the audios and stuff like that during like a podcast or during a ceremony, then do I gotta check on it regularly? And this happened to me at the last breath work I did, where I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we recorded that. And then I was like, fuck, it stopped 30 minutes through. And part of it is probably stopping recording and me filling up with my own bullshit. Like when I hit that state of perfection in a breathwork session, I'm like, everything's perfect. What's the rush? Take it easy. Can I go to like Elon Musk and say, hey, just chill for a second? But what's actually coming up as I'm saying that loud is, can I go to myself and say, hey, just chill for a second? Stop pushing so fucking hard. Stop pushing so hard with time, with results, with money, with stories, with where I want to be. Start listening to the calls that are coming in. I just had a call yesterday from someone who's like, yeah, we want to partner with you a little bit more, and can I actually listen to that without inflating my ego and saying, see how great I am? And then following through the people I say I'm going to follow through with and practicing that follow through. Oh, I'm supposed to make this call, I actually make the call. Oh, thank you for the transfer. Just acknowledging that and letting it go. Just being a good fucking human. Being a good fucking human. Sometimes I don't think I'm a good fucking human. But I'm listening to, and I'm gonna call him Papa Jack Cruz because it feels fun right now. Papa Jack Cruz right now. And sometimes he's salty. He just says this shit, he just calls things out. And part of me is trying to get to that place already without earning it in a way. Earning the love and affection. And then coming back to the love and affection. Keep playing back and forth. And I'm going to play at the edges of challenge and support, even for myself. And I'm gonna get challenged, I'm gonna get supported. And yesterday, I came back home to my family and I just felt like I could actually share and be like, yeah, I feel like I'm screwing up, I'm hurting right now. And I'm grateful for that. It felt safe enough to do that. My reminder to myself is that when I'm saying those things, it's because I'm safe enough to say those things. And how often have I not felt safe enough to say those things? And I could blame others going, I can't believe that they didn't let me feel safe enough. It's up to me. And I've got magic mirror work every day. Can I feel safe enough to say it to myself even if I don't post it, right? Like, I'm committing to magic work every day. I'm committing to recording it. I haven't said I have to post every day, and I am, because I'm just like, let's just let it get out there. At some point, will something bite me? Possibly. I'm trying to be a little mindful, and I'm trying not to be mindful at the same time. So right now, one of the debates I'm having in my head, and whenever this comes out, I really believe in our product. Soul immersion, like really immersing yourself, doing all the work beforehand, getting mind, body, soul ready, having a breath work, reminding you of your own medicine, getting all that preparation before having a deep dive ceremony, held really closely, seen really closely, receiving, getting past those blocks, feeling safe enough to let what bubbles up through the underneath bubble up, and it's all relation tied to your intention, and then coming out of it not having just an integration, but having 4 months of deep soul coaching with my dear friend Marika right now. And I'm saying right now because in an ideal world, we get to the point where has a team that does this work with her, having that coaching to guide people back to themselves in their everyday lives, just like I want to be guided back to my everyday life right now. And then being able to complete that and say, from there, now what? And not needing to feel like, oh, you got to dive into the next thing. And that you can. And then looking at that and noticing, okay, how am I blocking the work that could be coming in right now from people who are looking for something like I want to collaborate with you for the breath. I want to collaborate with you for medicine journey. I want to collaborate with you because I want to create this small group, and then meeting them where they're at without diluting the actual product that's here. And that's, I think, the piece is when someone's reaching out for something specific, showing them what we're doing, and then ask them, if you had your choice, now that you know what our product is, what would you want to create? And then I can actually speak back to you. I think that's a piece to come back to, and that's the part to check in. Feeling a little bit of a pain in my lower heart right now, but recognizing there's a transition period. At some point, I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, we're so sought after that we actually get to, quote unquote, make the rules. Right now, we're not that sought after yet. And part of it, maybe it's getting clearer and clearer on the actual product and developing it, and developing the different ways. Like it's like, oh, in the real moment, just changing and realigning. And that's part of it, right? Like, this is the thing. Pitch me what you want. Pitch me what you want. Make it clear, make it succinct. Then it can just be yes or no. I'm pitching you what I want. You pitch me what you want. It's not a sliding scale, so to speak. It's a clarity. We're not cheapening the thing that we're actually creating. And if you're not willing to step through that whole thing, I can choose to meet you where you're at, knowing that it may be a different result and knowing that that's okay. Part of me, I think, is the desire to really pull someone to the result that I think they actually want to have. And giving them the freedom to choose. It's just like myself. I have the freedom to choose right now. And then probably for my own calls, my own consultations, having a little video making more clear, hey, what I really would like to do is blow some shit up. Open a Pandora's box with you. If you're up for that, say yes, but know that that might actually happen. If you're not up for that, say no, and we'll see what we can do with this 30 minutes. I am open to both. It's not that I have the right answer. And I'm sorry when I don't have the right answer. But the truth is that I both never have and have the right answer. In the sense that when I used to try to get it right, I may think I leave with the right answer, you may leave with nothing. Or you may think you got the right answer, I may feel like I completely fucked up. Both of them are possible. Both extremes are possible. Here, let's actually admit that I don't have the right answer. So we're not trying to get somewhere. And I do. There's a reason why we're spending half an hour together. It's perfect. It serves me, it serves you. And part of me is like, how do I say this without saying this to someone? Because they may not need to hear it. This is for me to say to myself. That's why I'm doing the magic mirror work. The magic mirror work is for me to say it to myself so that I don't have to feel like I get to say it to everyone else, because sometimes I'm just trying to justify, I'm trying to set the stage so I can actually soften the blow to myself, soften the misunderstandings. And man, it sucks to be misunderstood, and it sucks to be understood, because being misunderstood is also being understood at the same time. Understood through someone else's context, and can I see the world through their eyes? Not making it right or wrong, because I want to blame. It's like, if only you could see things through my eyes, then you would agree with me. No. Even someone, the three people I'm seeing the most right now, Dr. John Demartini, Papa Jack Cruz, and Jerry Sargent, none of them I agree with completely. And I think they all have valid points. And I think they're doing their very best. And I think that they're more nuanced than I hear about, because I think everyone is more nuanced than they can put on in their public persona, because our public persona is a certain mask. Even this magic mirror work is a certain mask. I'm filtering myself, because putting it out there, there's a part of my fear going, if I actually say just a thing, will I be censored? Will I be hunted after? Will I be ... As if there's some boogeyman out there. And saying that because that's the piece. In this world right now, there's a general feeling of unsafety, especially amongst the females. I mean, when we say these statistics, if it's just normal, like, I can't remember, like 75% of women have experienced some kind of, unwanted sexual advances, or sexual assault, or something of that nature. And then I think like 1 in 4 have received some kind of sexual trauma of some kind. I can't remember what the terms are now. And then it's just like, this is almost normal. And then, like, I remember in medicine, the joke was like, there's a 10% non-paternity. And part of it is just seeing how we're accepting that. Now from the standpoint of, there shouldn't be that level of freedom. I'm really glad there's that level of freedom, actually, but where's the breakdown in communication and relationships, especially that the deepest partnership isn't happening the way that people think? That we're not feeling safe enough to be honest with ourselves and honest with each other. Right now, it's even just the idea of monogamy, of marriage, of kids, and the way we're raising kids, and how is it that parents relate to each other more than just as co-parents, as partners, as co-puttering, as all those things. And I'm noticing that myself. Like, people keep telling us, oh my God, you guys have a great relationship, and we do. And the piece to let go of is the comparison piece, because that's the piece we come to these days. It's like, oh, you have a great relationship means that you have a great relationship in comparison to what I expected a relationship to look like. Versus you have a great relationship in the sense that this is what I see a relationship is. See, even now I'm using the word supposed to be. And riding those highs, riding those lows, because part of me, in looking at this and me judging myself, is a great relationship should always be high, should always be connected, should always be ... And then recognizing it's being able to ride those waves together, being able to communicate through those waves together. Because when it comes down to it, even though we can optimize everything, something unexpected can happen. Whether it's an internal health thing, blood clot, aneurysm, heart attack, something else like that. Whether it's an external thing, accident, illness, traumatic thing in the family. And then recognizing all those things can impact even the best laid plans, but not ignoring the fact that in the absence of all that, what do I get to choose? And most of the times it is the absence of all that. The suffering I'm creating is in here, connected to my body, connected to the past. And then shutting down because I'm hearing a story and I'm reacting the same way, or reacting the similar way. Reacting in a way where I can pick up the part where I'm feeling triggered and shut down, but not being able to speak to it outside of that. And then by speaking the way I do, inviting in more trigger and shut down, because I know that's what's going to happen. There's a part of me that actually knows. Like, all these intricate games that I play, I'm going to say that we play what I play. And then coming back to how do I just enjoy myself? Today I was like, I want to watch Doctor Strange 2 again. I just want to watch some movies again, watch some stuff that I enjoy, and come back to things. The other day, my son wanted to watch Iron Man 2. It was fantastic. It was fucking fantastic to watch that movie. And he's taking the movie Thor down too. I'm like, I'll watch that with him anytime too. Like some of these original Marvel movies, fantastic. I'm grateful. Whatever he's willing to watch there, I would love to watch. And then I was talking to my best friend yesterday about playing video games again. How long has it been actually playing a game and actually enjoying it and actually diving into it? It's been a long friggin' time. And then the other thing is, like, I had this image of buying this camera for my dad, the GFX 100 RF. Ridiculous camera, almost $5,000 US, almost $8,500 Canadian. And I was like, I'm just gonna order it. Ordered it, somehow got refunded the money already. And looking at it going, what could I do with that kind of money? I definitely don't need to spend it on a thing. It's such a reminder. I don't need to spend my time and effort thinking how to sell it either. What I believe that will serve me is sending a message to my dad and saying, hey, I thought of this for you. I even ordered it for you. It's most likely refunded, but if for some reason you wanna get a camera that you can travel with, it will take really good pictures, let me know. I'm happy to help make that happen. But I don't need to make it happen. I just wanted to let you know I thought of you. And then as well telling my beloved about that too. And saying, I'm sorry, there's just still some of the old patterns I hear about, some crazy new camera, I want to learn about it, I want to get it. And then part of my brain goes to, I think I can at least sell it even if I don't get it, but part of me does want to get it, open it, want it. And that's what happened to me during my time in medical school. Didn't have any money, but I was spending $1,500 on a camera, right? And eventually, no matter how good the camera is, it ends up as a paperweight. Because they all do, when it comes down to it. even the one I have right now. Like I still have the D7000, and it's not bad, but it's not good, that's for sure anymore. It is over a decade old though. It's almost 16, 17 years old. Man, such a challenging time I was at there. Such a challenging time. Just remembering that time when I was really depressed and suicidal. Remembering that time when I was really piss poor, but I was able to get poor, A, because I knew how to play with the credit system at that time, the way I understood it. And B, I always knew I could get bailed out by my parents. I never thought I'd fully be homeless. And watching the movie Lion, I don't know if I'll finish it before, the Amazon Prime cuts out, but it seemed like he got lost, didn't know where he was, no way to communicate home, no language, and completely isolated. And I'm never worried that's going to happen to me, wherever I am in the world, even if I don't speak the language. And I'm grateful for that. And that's a part I want to impart in my son, that if something ever happens, he'll still feel safe, independent, able to create things for himself. And he's about the same age this happened in Lion, and how easy it is to make these mistakes and what are the priorities, right? If I make the priority money, am I avoiding actually being there for my family, which is what's really important right now? And how have I not been supporting them and supporting everyone else in the ways that I want to? And then wanting to chase the sun, wanting to get at the EMF smog, wanting to learn more about this, wanting to figure out where to be, the geoengineering that's happening around. All these ideas, not knowing if anything is true or not true, right? And even in the truth or untruth, it's like, so what? So what? There's so many things, like if you go to a restaurant, for example, we can be so meticulous of the food and go to a restaurant, we have no idea what they're getting. And I saw what they're receiving at the restaurant. It depends on who it is, who the manager is, how they decide to outsource, how they decide to source. And most likely they're looking at the cost and they're going to change things up based on the cost. And those are the things you won't get to see, because it'll just be a silent change. They don't have to say pepperoni from or anything else like that. And that's sometimes probably what's going on the menus. And the level of transparency, so investing in a company like NVIDIA, investing in self. So it keeps going back to investing in self, but also investing in assets, right? Companies like NVIDIA, I think, are worthwhile. The whole system may collapse, but NVIDIA, I think, is worthwhile. Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, I think, are worthwhile. Some of the other miners, depends on their own liquidity, right? It's funny, I invested in some of these psychedelic stocks and they definitely did not work out. Every single one of them crashed down to zero. And what is that trying to tell me? It's the same as the marijuana stocks. It's based on a lot of hype because what? Capitalistic principles. But as well, what are the principles? What is the principle of running a really good company? And that's what I liked about listening to NVIDIA today. Like, all these direct reports to the leader, no status updates, anyone can access anytime. No long-term plan, long-term vision, but no long-term plan, because the plan keeps on changing, keeps on updating. And then how do we get ahead of the curve? And that's part of it right now. How do we keep getting ahead of the curve? And part of it for me probably is leaving a little message for my co-founders. That's probably part of it, is leaving a little video message and just trusting. I'll probably do that in a minute. Write down a few things first though. Founders. 2025, 03, 27 founders. Wise, done, Calendly, breath, X, and ceremony, X. Product. Listen to the market. Share mine. Ask for their dream. Make a choice. Okay. Manifesting. Generator. Lull. Challenge. Pandora's box. What else? I'm going to just write a few things down before I record that video for founders. I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. Today is going to be a wunderbar day, an awesome day. I feel to heal. The only constant is change. Everything is a choice. Everything's a story. I always have a choice. I do what I love, and I love what I do. Let's get to that. I'm a genius. I know what good looks like. I don't leave until I find it. Harry Dry. I am a conscious leader, teacher, guide, facilitator, lover, father, husband, and I am present with each and every moment of life. Fair exchange, temperate rhythm, study truths, caring sincerely, sharing wisdom, divine guidance, grateful prayer, silent presence, loving service, inspired action. Inspired action, loving service, silent presence, grateful prayer, divine guidance, sharing wisdom, caring sincerely, study truths, temperate rhythm, fair exchange. Exchange fair, rhythm temperate, truth steady, sincerely caring, wisdom sharing, guidance divine, prayer grateful, presence silent, service loving, action inspired. I'm just reflecting on my time with Dr. John Demartini, the presence process, not the presence process, the breakthrough experience. Michael Singer is another one of the people. And just realizing I was like, there's something that still feels off about it. And that's my experience. It doesn't make it right though, right? Perhaps that's by intention. He wants to have something feeling off so that he's actually filtering for the people that are willing to step through the discomfort versus the ones who are going to come once and never come again anyway. So just noticing that, but as well, I think it's optimizing it both in the person managing the room. Man, it's not an easy thing to do, to manage a room. It takes a lot of different skill sets and efforts. And you've got to really want it, desire it, love the technology too. B, having a main leader, but also having a sub-leader for something like that, really seeing and guiding. How do we meta look at improving this product and improving the experience for people, noticing when people are checking out, noticing that there's something going on, especially with the Zoom experience, like there's lack of clarity. How do we keep coming back to examples as well? Example after example after example. And how to have a team that can actually speak up, speak to the leader. And that's it for me as well. Every now and then when I pause, how do people speak back, speak up to me? Man, I'm feeling and letting myself feel like I fucked up yesterday with my friend who came for authenticity, felt like they were called out. And then I just had another friend call me, or say to me, he's like, what do you see in my blind spots? And I was like, and I realized my answer was terrible. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. I've known you for a long time. Are you sure you want to hear this? Not a very promising way, and framing it like if there's something terrible. And how are they going to go away with that? And trusting to let it just be. And then what are my blind spots? Man. And am I willing to hear it too? And yes, I have more support than I ever have. I have more coaches than I ever have. Now is the time to hear my blind spots, right? The edge of challenge is important. I have run away from things, but I also run towards things. I'm not gonna pretend. 6:24, it's almost time to get outside. So let's finish this up. Is there anything else I want to say? Business, corporation, goals, metrics. Principles, problems, clarity. Solutions, videos. What is